What's poppin' YouTube? It's your boy Hood Quest. So listen, first off I want to apologize if you got oh shit. First of all, I want to apologize if you guys hear any background noise. I have people over right now, but I just felt the need to get this video out. Another video of me talking about something that I want to talk about, something that very much disturbs me. So, we all have childhood trauma. We all have those shows. There are those old, like, children's shows, quote unquote, that are terrified us as a kid. Most of you may think of, like, such as, like, Courage the Cowardly Dog, or that big fucking seal from that, what was the name of that penguin show, Pingu or something. But listen, there's one show in particular, one show that probably was the main staple in terrifying me as a kid, and yet I continued to watch it. And that was The Marvelous Misadventures of Flapjack. You probably already know what I'm talking about. If you don't know what I'm talking about, watch it. Or don't. Probably don't. But yes, The Marvelous Misadventures of Flapjack was a children's show that ran on Cartoon Network for a few years. And in that few years that show was on, it was absolute nightmare fuel. An absolute nightmare, if you may. And today, I want to go over some particular parts or scenes that I could recollect that were the main staples and being terrifying for that show. Now these, I'm going to try to put them in order from like least creepy to most creepy, in my opinion. Like the most creepy being the ones that I still remember to this day vividly. Alright, so I just want to go through these, and I found a few examples, found a few images. I would play clips of these scenes, but I don't know if that'd be good because it might get copyrighted. Yeah, I don't know if playing scenes from the show is safe, so I'm just gonna not do it and just save the headache of getting copyright struck. I don't want to get copyright struck, but I do want to go over some particular scenes from the show that particularly terrified me. Also, I apologize if my voice sounds a bit off. I've been having sinuses for the past few days, and they're just not getting better, so my throat may sound a little groggy. But we're still here, okay? We're still here. Alright, so let's just go down with the least creepy thing, and that being the entirety of Candy Wife. Candy Wife was Peppermint Butler, Peppermint Larry, Peppermint Butler, Peppermint Larry's inanimate wife that was with him at the candy bar. And her scenes were always creepy because normally when they refer to her, it's just uncanniness. She's always in hyper definition, and it's always just silence, just creepy, unnatural silence. And it was terrifying. It was absolutely terrifying. And not necessarily terrifying, more so just straight up uncanny, creepy. That's what this show was known for. This show knew how to do uncanniness fucking perfectly. And that's, Candy Wife was certainly a staple for that. But there are other things on this too that are even worse than that. So let's move on to the next one. The next one was the episode, I believe the episode was referred to as Fish Heads. And in this episode, the barber himself is a whole mess on his own. I guess he collects hair in fish heads to create these disgusting Frankenstein beasts that run amok through the harbor. They're like fish. They have fish heads and they're made of hair. And I don't really know why he made them, or it was just a creepy episode because like they were just horrific beasts made of hair. Like imagine you wake up one day and you just see a gargantuan beast with a body of hair in fish head. And you wouldn't know what to do about that. Like that's certainly just creepy. It's really just creepy. Alright, moving on. The next one is what was it got? Punz McKenzie. The Punz McKenzie episode. Now this episode itself wasn't necessarily creepy, but the thing that was creepy was the part where Punz McKenzie starts going in on Flapjack. He starts changing colors. He starts to looking like a clown, looking like creepy. He starts going on some fucking Pennywise shit. And his voice starts getting deep and distorted. He just starts going in. And I remember that scene. I remember seeing that as a kid. It scared me. I didn't like it. It's not like I was afraid of clowns or anything. The scene just felt like it went on just a second too long. Like it got uncomfortable. It was so uncomfortable. But yeah, I remember that episode. That episode was great and horrifying. That's the thing about the show. The show was great and horrifying. It was just truly a mess of nightmares and comedy. Alright, the next one on this list is Now this whole episode itself was pretty creepy, disturbing, but it's actually pretty low on this list as far as my Flapjack episodes go. But I don't remember the name of the episode, but it's the episode where Knuckles is very much on the verge of being super addicted to candy, and he's kind of losing his mind. And then he has this nightmare, right? This nightmare where like Flapjack turns giant and then starts like barfing candy into his mouth. It's very weird, uncomfortable, creepy scene, and it was really just, I didn't know what to think of it. It was just very much a very weird scene, to say the least. Weird, creepy, uncomfortable. Another scene that I just did not like at all. Alright, let's move to the next one. These last three are probably the staples, the absolute staples with the show. And the least of these three horrifying things, they're all horrifying, but this is the least of the three, was the cat episode. The episode where I don't even remember the context of this one, but I just remember the close-up picture of the fucking cat with the black eyes and the fucking teeth, and it was just ew, like, and they did it so much in this, like the low frame rate, it was just all uncomfortable, all of it, every last bit of it. Like, what was going on in this episode? Like, the fucking cat, the sounds it made, everything, just, I hated it. Like, why did they think this was okay for children? And we watched this shit. This next one I remember vividly. This one actually gave me a nightmare. And that was the scene where Flapjack sees this, what he presumes to be a little kid, and the kid's like making jokes like, you win, ha ha, blah blah blah, bullshit. And then Flapjack's like, you need to grow up. And then he's like, grow up, I'm 38 years old. And then they zoom in on his face looks a lot older. This is fucking unsettling music, and then he just gives this very grimace, painful smile. And it's just, that's it. It gave me a nightmare, because I'm like, it just sent shudders down my spine. Like, that was the absolute worst. I hated that. That scene gave me a nightmare. I thought about that for quite a few days after I saw that episode. Never watched the episode again. I just refused to. I could probably watch it now and be okay, but oof. Now this final one is the pinnacle of this part. This just shouldn't have been in the show. This was just downright terrific. No, not terrific. Horrific. It was horrific. And that was the Hes Here moment. In this episode, I'm pretty sure Flapjack had more or less been abducted by this mad like teacher, or was she like a caretaker or something? And Bubby wants Flapjack back, and for the first time, Bubby, she gets out of the fucking water. She's gonna try her best to get there. Her and Knuckles are on their way, and you can hear Bubby on the roof or creeping somewhere around in there. And then the caretaker's getting unsettled. She looks down at Flapjack, and Flapjack has this fucking super weird, creepy, uncanny, realistic ass face, and he just says, she's here. And yeah, I literally turned the TV off after that. I turned the TV off. I left. Only recently. It wasn't even that recently. I think it was like 2 years ago or something like that. Well, I actually did continue and finish that episode. But I hated that. I hated that scene. I still hate that scene. I still do. That was the most uncomfortable thing I'd ever seen in my fucking life. Well, probably not compared to today, but still, as a kid, you saw that, you were just like, it was, ew, oh god, I don't even, oh. But yeah, that's Flapjack. If none of you have ever watched this show, please do. I encourage you to watch it. You know, if you like weird, uncanny, if you just want to watch a show and just ask yourself constantly, why is this made for kids? Then watch The Marvelous Misadventures of Flapjack. The Marvelous Misadventures of Flapjack. It ran on Cartoon Network back in the early 2000s, or about probably like around 2008, something like that. Can't remember exactly, but I remember watching a lot of it. I've watched probably somewhere around every episode, but still, I don't know why I continue to watch that show, knowing how much it terrified me, man. It just, jeez. But yes, if you never watched the show, please do so. But if if you're creeped out by uncanny, weird, creepy scenes, just creepypasta type aesthetic, then don't. I understand, don't. But if that's your thing, watch it. But yeah, that's Flapjack. This is probably my staple as far as childhood trauma shows go. Like I said, every kid has that one show as a kid that creeped them out. Some people had that Pingu episode. Some people had episodes from like Ren and Stimpy or that weird scene from Cat Dog. For me, it was this. It was Flapjack. Flapjack was my creepy show. And that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please hit that like button. What are some creepy shows that you guys watched as a kid that terrified you, or what are some scenes that you remember from anything? Put them down in the comments. Let me know to start a conversation about it. Because I do love the idea of the macabre childhood trauma type deals. It's weird, but it's also something we can all relate to. So that's it. Peace out. I'll see y'all in the next one. I'm gonna fuck with you.